What's going on, true believers? It's your man Keanu Believes. Folks, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Help me get sent so I can continue to bring you this content, because this shit ain't free. Today, number one story might be Bitcoin, might be Ethereum, but it should be Floki. Floki partnered with Kimbal Musk for the Million Gardens movement. And if you don't know what that is, you don't care about eating. The Million Garden movement is a movement for creating gardens all across the planet so that people can feed themselves and are not subject to food shortages because global elites control the food supply. I tell you it over and over again, the global elites are controlling you. You don't believe me, but, and this is not financial advice, I'm always right. All right, guys, time to make the donuts. CoinGecko has us trading at $2.109 trillion, which is up 1.5% to the previous day. Bitcoin is at 47,473. Down on the hour chart because they're playing a dip right now, but it's up 0.7% and 1.5% over the 7-day average. Now, I told you yesterday, 44,000 is the magic number for the shorts on Bitcoin today, and it does not look like they are going to get there. Now, if everybody holds and we continue to play this where it is right now, the shorts that have not bought yet are going to have to ape in and make some serious Bitcoin purchases, and that means Bitcoin is about to get sent. Let's hope it plays out right, because along with it goes Ethereum. Ethereum's trading at 31.57. That's up 0.9% on the hour, 1.6% on the 24-hour, but only 0.4% on the 7-day. That's just trading the whole time. How can you keep up with Cardano, who's up 2.1%, 5.5% on the 24-hour, and 18.9% on the 7-day. And folks, that's a stable coin doing an 18% weekly bump. And if you look at the charts right now, you will see a moon happening on Cardano that you do not see on Bitcoin and Ethereum yet. So there's a new dog in town, and we're going to have to start paying attention. Moving on. Now, let's talk about Bitcoin for a second, and I know what you are thinking right now. You're thinking, Believes, why would you be on CoinDesk? You know that those are hacks. Why would you even bother to go there? Well, the answer is very simple. Sometimes you're going to get your news from different sources, and today happens to be that day where I like the story that CoinDesk is telling us, at least for today, and that is Bitcoin holds short-term support, upside limited to 50K. Upside limited to 50K, I said mockingly. This guy is probably out of his mind. Now, he's going to be a prophet otherwise, but for right now, let's clown him. What he's telling you is that Bitcoin right now is overbought and oversold, and the slowing momentum suggests that the buyers are still exhausted from the $50,000 resistance level. What he's telling you is they're exhausted, but what he's not mentioning is today is the big short day, which means that all of those people who are trying to suppress the price artificially, some of those might even be in their Keanu Believes hoodie, by the way, not sure, but their support at the 50,000 level doesn't exist. But guess what? It's going to blow past 50 if the gods hold today, because those shorts are going to have to get in and they're going to have to buy, and they've only got from right now about 8 hours to get their shit together, or we're going to be testing the $40,000 and $42,000 level, and that's not good. That's not how meme coins get sent, and all we are looking to do is send the meme coins. Guys, get your shit together and hold. That's how you do it. Moving on. All right, guys, I've been neglecting Ethereum for a few days, so let's talk about Ethereum very quickly. Ethereum reached that 100,000 Ethereum burned mark yesterday. So that's a lot of Ethereum that's been burned over time. Still not deflationary, but the inflationary nature of it has been reduced quite a bit. So What's important here? Well, the important thing is this. Yesterday, I was in, and as you guys know, I go through chat after chat after chat. I'm in Floki's chat, and I see Floki is probably about to blow up. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy more Floki. And the fees at that point were almost $90 just to make a move. So I looked at Kishu. Maybe I'll make a move on Kishu. Still $90. Gas fees are out of control. Now, I know what you're thinking, that the 1559 London Fork was supposed to fix that, and that is not the fix. So, what is the fix? Well, right now, Martin Young says that Ethereum gas fees are stabilizing, but is it better for users? It's now been 3 weeks since the Ethereum London hard fork and the deployment of the EIP 1559, and it appears the gas fees have become a little more predictable as intended. So, one part is they are now more predictable, so you know when they should rise and when they should go down. The London upgrade was deployed on August 5, changing the way transaction fees are calculated while burning a portion of them. The upgrade was never intended to directly reduce fees, but make them more predictable. As explained by Ethereum solutions provider Consensus, 1559 may lead to some reduction in gas supplies if we assume that fee predictability means users will overpay for gas less frequently. Is gas fee stability a good thing? A chart posted in the Ethereum subreddit by user Frank Costello shows how the fees have stabilized and become less volatile in swings from lows to highs in the mid-range. And the chart does show that there has been some settling on the fees. And if you're guessing, then yes, they are quite a bit more predictable, but still really high. So, before the upgrade, gas prices ranging between 20 and 100 Gwei had a greater variance and were more unstable than after London was deployed. It was pointed out that the upgrade has not made gas cheaper, but has provided better certainty that a transaction will be included in the next block if the correct base fee is set. Reddit user Tanoki pointed out that this may not be a good thing because there were more options to include a transaction at a lower fee, which is shown by the dip below the 20 Gwei level before 1559 was introduced. Many people were happy waiting longer but paying less, Tanoki added, before declaring, like it or not, the main feature of 1559 was that a part of the miners' profits instead are now indirectly given to the whales via burning. So, I know what he's saying. The whales get richer because the price goes up but guys, to pretend that the miners are not making out like bandits and have not been making out like bandits in all this time with Ethereum, that's very short-sighted. Tanoki, you should be ashamed of yourself on that one. There is a lot to like about Ethereum. There's a lot to like about their network and the blockchain, but the fees are prohibitive to meme coins. And that doesn't mean that you can't get a nice lift. Doesn't mean that you can't get a good moon. It means that it is very expensive. And it's one of those expensives that you don't see in the BSC universe. It's one of those that you do not see in the Cardano universe. So it's going to have to be addressed sooner rather than later. Now, ETH 2.0 will not complete until 2022. In the meantime, we're going to have to pay those higher prices and those higher fees. And the only way to settle those fees is for limited buying. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So, it is important right now for us to just suck it up and pay those fees. But let's hope that on September 12th, some of those massive amounts of NFTs that are being constantly printed move off the Ethereum chain and onto the Cardano chain with the introduction of their smart contracts, and perhaps that will alleviate some of the pressure and some of the stress that's going on in the Ethereum network, leading to the high Gwei prices. Moving on. All right, guys, Keanu is trading at 98.46, still added a zero to it, and haven't picked that back off yet, but up 5.9% on the 24-hour. And a very low trading volume of about 40,000 on the Ethereum network leads me to believe that there's been a whole lot of holding and not nearly as much selling, well, by 6% over the course of that time. So that is a good thing. We still got the shill, excuse me, the shill for 2 trill that is going on right now, and there is an airdrop coming. So if you've been thinking about getting into Keanu, follow the airdrop once it's announced, and maybe you can get in and see your wallet grow. Also, next Friday, there is Max Sean 100, the worldwide launch party. It's coming. It's getting closer, and things are starting to look up. Guys, strap yourself in. We're going to Mars. Moving on. All right, guys, time for Hokk. If you notice if you notice right here, there is a new logo. There's a bit of a rebranding going on. Right now, we're calling it Hokk, but one of their initiatives is called Hokk-Fi, and it is going to change the way Hokk does business. And there was a Telegram AMA yesterday, and it is posted around the 3:40 p.m. mark, where they go over exactly what's going on, what issues they're working through to get everything up and running, and what they're doing is going to be a game changer. Something to always remember. There are going to be peaks and valleys. As you can see, trading at 1357 puts you down 12% to 24 hours ago. But if you were playing a dip with your, let's assume, $1,000 investment, there is a great opportunity that you could have made a couple $100 off of Hokk yesterday, then played a dip and came in with about, based on this number, and if you played it right, instead of having 10 trillion, you have 11 trillion. That's the way these meme coins work. Accumulate. Accumulate for the moon. And Hokk is primed to get sent. So, guys, be faithful to your product. Understand that your devs are working for you, and they have the answers that you are looking for. Go check out the Telegram AMA. It is in the pinned messages. Moving on. All right, guys, Sanshu went through a big dip yesterday, but is trading even to yesterday at 21.88. Good job, guys. Don't forget, they've got the Minecraft Creative Plot contest for $1,000 in Sanshu. Guys, that's not nothing. That's a big investment. And Minecraft? That's kind of awesome. Also, we are getting very close to the announcement of the dog park launch. So, guys, pay attention. Big things are coming to Sanshu, and they are coming very quickly. Now, guys, same as with everybody else, there was a nice dip yesterday, and you could have made a big bag if you had played the dips yesterday just right. So, guys, pay attention to what's going on. Sanshu to the moon. Moving on. All right, Floki Vikings, where you at? Oh, my goodness. 58.25, which means that you guys are up 40% to the previous day. Now, guys, around midnight, not last night, but the night before, around midnight, for what we're looking at, Floki was trading at about 3,900. And in very rapid fashion, as has become the case with Floki, there were 2 giant leg ups, taking them to, I believe it was 59.7. I feel like it was over 6,000 for just a little while. But guys, that was a big move. And why is there a big move? Well, that is because Floki has partnered with Kimbal Musk, who is the brother of Elon Musk. Elon Musk, who owns a dog named Floki, I might add. And they have partnered with him for the Million Gardens Project. And the Million Gardens Project is an effort to feed people who are finding it hard to get food. And, you know, if you teach people how to plant a garden, they can feed themselves. I'm sure there's an old adage about it. I forget it at the moment, but I think everybody should take a moment to recognize that Floki did a bang-up job at what they're doing today. Oh, and in case you didn't know it, there is another announcement that, and let me point this out. Floki's announcement was a partnership with the brother of Elon Musk and the Million Gardens project, which in itself is huge. And what did they say? Oh, that's not our big announcement. So, guys, if you don't have a bag in Floki, what is wrong with you? Get your bag in Floki right now because they are about to have a moonshot. Moving on. All right, Saitama Wolfpack, give me a shout out. You are up 7.23% at 85.98. And guys, I told you yesterday that there were 20 of the official NFT celebrating 30,000 holders of the Saitama token, and there are only 4 left. So guys, 16 have been sold already, and if you want one, you better get in now because time is running very short. And if you are looking at that chart right now, you gotta be very happy. Gotta be very, very, very happy. Also, Mr. Wayne has made a YouTube video that shows you exactly how the burn rate works. We did the same thing for Keanu at one point. Your burn rate will continue to increase over time. It does. It doesn't go exponential, by the way, in any of these, but it will increase, especially as volume increases over time. But go check the video out because it's very interesting, and it is in your chat, and it is pinned there right now. Wolfpack, everything's going well. Stay faithful to your product. Remember that we are about to get that big leg up. This is Shorts Get Wrecked Friday. Kishu, you are trading at 80.75. That's down 1%. So let's call that about even with yesterday. There was quite a dip for a little while. It looked like things were moving down just a little bit, and then everything came roaring back to break even with the previous day. And if you look down over that way a little bit, you're going to see the first images of Kishu and Tenshi in London. And Kishu is taking over London today. The voice chat discussing that starts at 12 p.m. Central Time. Set your clock right now. They've got some big things going on. So make sure that you give them a shout out. You only got a couple hours before London becomes Kishu Town. What you gonna do, London? Moving on. StarLink. You guys are trading at 1932. That's up 9.72% to 24 hours ago with a volume of 10,231,383. That is a 10% increase. So if you had a big bag in there, you've got an even bigger bag in there right now. If you played a dip, if you got a good play in, then you made some money off of StarLink today, and hope you sunk it all back in to get an even bigger bag because, guys, Shahid Ahmad has signed an agreement to help with the development of the StarLink project. StarLink project has not been announced yet, but it is going to be a space station, a real virtual space station that you will be able to buy property on. And that is going to be unbelievable. Now, if you don't know who Shahid Ahmad is, he was behind Pro Foosball, Cricket Street Champions, the Action Man series of video games, Floor 13, Pandora, The Face of Harn for the horror fans, No Escape, Nihilist, Nightshade, Jet Set Willie for anybody who remembers that nugget. And that one was an oldie but goodie. He was involved in the audio on Ants World Sports, Mission Impossible, No Escape, Wolverine's Adamantium Rage, and guys, I know you played that. That was a Super Nintendo game. Terminator 2 Judgment Day, Spider-Man 3, The Invasion of the Spider Slayers. Public Relations, he was involved in NBA 2K3, NCAA College Football 2K3. Love that game. World Series Baseball, NHL 2K3. provided support for Zombie Vikings from a couple years ago and Timothy versus the Aliens, and has producer credits for just a plethora of games. And I think that if you're up to bat and you're getting Shahid Ahmad onto your team, then you are about to hit a grand slam. So, guys, if you are looking, if you're paying attention, you better pay attention because StarLink is about to get sent. Moving on. All right, guys, Shiba, you did it. Finally came through. After an entire week, this is your first day with some green. You are up 0.06%. So, big leg up, guys. Trading at 70.88. I don't know what to say other than I still have a lot of faith that you guys are going to get a big blow up. It's going to be coming fairly soon. Altcoin season, when it really starts to kick off, I think you guys are about to get sent. Here's wishing you luck. Moving on. All right, guys, I don't want to get off on a rant here, but let's get off on a rant here just a little bit. Folks, if you don't know how meme tokens work, and you don't know how altcoin season comes about and how it leads to meme coin season, then do yourself a favor and educate yourself on the 4 phases of a bull run. You start with Bitcoin, you move on to Ethereum, you move on to altcoins, and then it's time for the meme coins. Now, if you're here for the first time and you may have bought your product, which might be Keanu, could be some of you new guys, maybe not, but let's say if you're Sanshu, if you're Hokk, if you're Kishu, you might have bought near the top and you're not feeling very good about it. And it's very difficult for someone who bought at the bottom to be feeling the same sort of sympathy as you do. But I bought Keanu on day 1 in about the 3rd hour. So it is almost impossible for me at this point to actually be down. It doesn't mean that I'm way up, but at one point, my very small bag was well into 4 digits, approaching 5 digits, and I did not cash out because I had faith that it was going to go further. And of course, as with most meme coins, once you get that initial pump, that's when everybody starts to take their profits, and then that's when people make the decision on whether they're going to move on or they're going to continue to stick with that project. And that really depends on sentiment, and the sentiment around most of these tokens is you go up, you get that nice boost right there, and then you consolidate. And once you start to consolidate, you would generally consolidate in a much better position unless you were involved in a crash. And most of us were involved in a crash, and now we have to sit tight and we have to watch things happening like Floki, who's doing a great job, but they came out on the upside of the market after the worst of the worst had already happened. Or StarLink, these guys are doing a great job, and they came out at a perfect opportunity to start to move upwards. And they are. But if you're in one of the older meme coins and you're sitting there every day like Shiba or Keanu or Hokk or Sanshu or Kishu, if you're in one of these, even Saitama at this point, if you're sitting there and you're waiting for that next level, then it's coming. And when it does, it's going to be a massive send-off for every single one of us because we're all doing great jobs. If you go look at the roadmaps on every single one of these tokens, I'll put it this way. If you had $1,000 in every single one of these, then every single one of these tokens are going to send you. To what height? I have no idea. The reason I can always be right is because I don't like making those kind of guesses. But the point to it all is every one of these are going to get sent at some point. Now, if I'm guessing, I'm going to guess that of us all, Kishu is probably the next in line to take off the fastest. But then after that, I believe that it's open game. I think StarLink because of their association in the video game industry and because of the big plays they're doing, they have the opportunity to move very quickly. And Floki. Floki is named after Elon Musk's dog. At some point, Elon Musk is going to post a picture, and it's going to say Floki. And when that happens, they're going to get a lot of exposure. Those kind of things are inevitable. If you're in Kishu, London Day, the more people that are seeing that, the better off everything's going to be. So everybody's going to get sent at some point. But people don't get sent when all they hear is you crying in chat. So if you have questions, the best thing that you could do is to go to an admin and ask them in a private message and not just complain like crazy in a chat. I've been into every one of these chats, and let me just say, Floki is up a ridiculous amount over one day. A 50% increase is something that you can only dream of, and if you can keep that going for a couple of days, then you've made some life-changing money. So even in Floki's chat, you've seen people who just start whining and start crying because they're not savvy investors and they don't understand. And if you're not one of those people and you're nervous, you have every right to be nervous because it's real money. But at the end of the day, here's what matters. Don't put your FUD on somebody else. Take that to private chats. Talk to somebody privately. Don't ruin the days of everybody around you just because you made bad investment decisions. And it's not a bad decision that you invested in the token. It's the point at which you invested that would make you a bad investor. So you may have done a great job and you may have chosen a great product. You just picked it at the wrong time. But that is what investment is all about. Play the dips. Everybody's going to tell you, buy the dips. When the market crashed just recently, you know what happened? All of the whales accumulated more Bitcoin. That is exactly what happened. They accumulated at 30. Now they're sitting at close to 50. So imagine if you had put in, as a whale, 10 or $50 million, you would be sitting at a ridiculously large amount of money now. That's just the way that it works. Now, guys, everything that we do is designed to improve everybody's quality of life, but it's only the faithful who are going to get rewarded. At the very end of this, if you are unfaithful to your product and you pull out at the wrong time, then you probably are not going to get sent like everybody else. And you're going to be in somebody else's chat down the line saying, man, if I had only held during the darkest days, which we're in right now, if I'd only held during the darkest days, then I'd be rich right now, and I would be tossing $1,000 at every new product. So, guys, I guess what I'm saying is, get your shit together and stay positive. That's all I got. We got a big weekend. Shorts are getting wrecked, and Floki, looks like you're going to the moon. Kishu, we'll see you guys in London today, and that's all the time.
Been around since the 80s and wasn't always cool, especially with the ladies. I was a damn fool. Dad was an alcoholic. Mama, she had to leave him. Grew up around the fighting, the fussing, cussing, and cheating. That's when I started breaking all of the rules, selling drugs and robbing people. I was kicked out of school. I was a bad kid, tearing shit up, sleeping on couches with 40 bottles.